6:51, time for the morning sprint.
Breaking news just into the newsroom. Retired Pope Benedict asking for forgiveness for any grievous faults in his handling of clergy sex abuse cases. He, however, refuses to admit any personal wrongdoing. A recent report found he failed to take action against clerics in 4 separate sexual abuse cases while he was Archbishop in Munich. The report, commissioned by the Archdiocese, said there were at least 497 victims of abuse, mainly young males.
A major benefactor of the University of Wisconsin is gone. Jerome Chazen has passed away. His name is on the UW-Madison Museum of Art. He and his wife of 72 years met while students at the UW after becoming a fashion industry leader and giving major gifts to the campus. Chancellor Rebecca Blank says his commitment to UW will live on at the Art Museum and the many lives he touched. Jerome Chazen, dead this morning at the age of 94.
The Sun Prairie man charged in a crash that killed a Madison police officer's wife appeared in court yesterday. Christopher Bloom being charged with homicide by negligent operation of a vehicle and reckless driving causing great bodily harm. The charges stem from a crash that killed 48-year-old Julie Nelson and left her wife Jody injured. A judge set Bloom's signature bond of $500 a case, citing a lack of criminal history. As a condition of that bond, Bloom not allowed to operate a vehicle or have any contact with Nelson's family.
A former Portage High School teacher pleading no contest to a felony sexual assault charge of a student. Court documents say Abby Dibbs, a former English teacher, told detectives that she and the male student had sex twice at her home. A judge sentenced Dibbs to 3 years of probation, and she has to register as a sex offender, and she is ordered not to have any contact with the student.
Neither of the current Republican candidates for governor has received former President Trump's endorsement. Instead, Trump throwing his support to a fringe lawmaker who has twice tried to illegally undo the 2020 elections. Tim Ramthun told Rolling Stone he's considering entering the race. He has a big announcement set for this weekend. More on that possible run is up on channel3000.com.
Still no clear answers from law enforcement about Thursday's shooting that injured Quadron Wilson. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes said 3 MPD officers were assisting the Wisconsin Department of Justice on the city's east side when it happened. Barnes said that they were there to help make an arrest, but none of their officers fired their weapons or witnessed the shooting. Wilson's family says officers shot him 5 times in the back during that arrest. No law enforcement agency has confirmed those claims.
A source says the U.S. and Japan have reached a deal to cut Trump-era tariffs on steel. The deal would have allowed an unlimited amount of Japanese steel to be imported into the U.S. without the current 25% levy. Former President Trump put the tariffs in place in 2018, citing national security concerns.
Governor Evers pardoning 25 more people yesterday. That brings his total to 416. Evers has granted more pardons than any other governor in contemporary history. Republican Governor Scott Walker didn't issue a single pardon during his 2 terms. The move comes after applicants spoke to Evers' Pardon Advisory Board on January 14th.
Ford says it's suspending or slowing production at several of its factories in North America this week because of the ongoing chip shortage. The company had stopped production at its Chicago plant, and its plant in Mexico will shut down this week. The production pause also impacting Ford's Kansas City plant, which builds its popular F-150 line of trucks.
The U.S. State Department offering a $10 million reward for information on an ISIS-K leader and others involved in the deadly airport attack in Afghanistan last year. The bombing happened in August as U.S. troops were trying to help both Americans and Afghans flee in the chaotic aftermath of the Taliban's takeover. 185 people died, including 13 U.S. troops.
Ireland rolling out the green carpet. The St. Patrick's Day Parade is returning to the streets of Dublin March 17th. The parade has been canceled the past 2 years because of the pandemic, but it's back now that Ireland has lifted most of its COVID restrictions.
Nominations for this year's Oscars are being unveiled in just a matter of moments. Because of the pandemic, the Academy Awards ceremony won't take place until March 27th. That is 2 months later than normal. Presentation of nominations will begin just after 7 a.m.
Temperatures are going to be warmer than they were at this time yesterday as you begin to head out the door. In fact, by the afternoon, we're going to be a lot warmer than where we were yesterday. We will see clouds on the increase, but instead of being in the lower 20s, we'll find our temperatures into the mid-30s. Some spots will flirt with the 40s for those highs this afternoon. Snow chances still relatively low, but I'm watching a few flurries on Wednesday. Perhaps a light snow to impactful snowfall Thursday night into Friday. That's going to be one thing to watch watch as the system starts to move our direction from the north and west. We've been watching the trends. Other snow chances in our forecast happen towards the middle of next week.
All right, Chris Reese, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us this morning, folks. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.